Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Liverpool 0, Chelsea 1. An incredible performance today from Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. If you are not yet subscribed to the George Benson football channel, I'd love to ask you to hit the subscribe button, and if you're excited for what was a phenomenal 3 points, a brilliant performance, then be sure to hit the like button on today's video as well. Chelsea win 1-0 thanks to a wonderful finish from Mason Mount in a game where VAR kind of ruined it for us a little bit. It could have been more, it should have been more, and this game again just proves what a brilliant start to life as Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel has had. We've now gone on the road, beaten Spurs away, beaten Atletico Madrid away, and now we have won at Anfield. We've beaten Liverpool away, the champions of England. Liverpool's wait for a home victory at Anfield continues, and Chelsea are now well and truly in a very commanding position in this race for the top 4. As for who gets the boxes today, it was such a great performance from virtually everybody that this could have been like 11 things that we learn, and then we talk about the substitutes as well and just give everybody a green box, because quite frankly, everything from the in-game management from Tuchel with substitutions to the way that we actually didn't pass it all of the time forwards. You know, it's very easy if we look at struggling to make incisive passes in the final third. It would be also easy for us to just sit here thinking, well, every ball now needs to go forward, otherwise we're doing the same repetitive thing over and over again. The balance today from Chelsea and the timing, when we did try and make the balls over the top, or when we did just try and keep possession with some sideways passing in the middle, everything was perfect. It was a phenomenal result, phenomenal performance, and we move into box number 1. And I could have given the blue box to Mason Mount, but again, Andreas Christensen gets himself a blue box here in the 6 things that we learned. I thought it was a phenomenal defensive display again from Christensen. Liverpool, it took them 85 minutes of this game to register an attempt on target from a Gini Wijnaldum header that is straight into the golden gloves of Edouard Mendy. I thought Christensen today, for the first 10 minutes of the second half, when Liverpool came out and they were dominating possession, it was a very interesting game of football to watch. Bring it back to the first half. First 10 minutes was for Liverpool, next 15 for Chelsea. Liverpool then had 5, Chelsea then dominated the last 15 minutes of the half. The first 10 minutes of that second half, I would say, were the best 10 minutes of football I've ever seen from Andreas Christensen in a Chelsea shirt. I thought he was phenomenal today. I thought the thing with Christensen that I always criticised was he always looked low on confidence. He always looked as though he was either too busy like down on the floor, didn't look strong enough to be like a leading centre half. But now everybody can see the confidence he's playing with, which means that even his teammates are happy to give him the ball in sticky situations. They know that he can win it back. They know that he can keep hold of it, or at least do the right thing with it. And at the moment, he's playing with such a confidence, and that is all down to Thomas Tuchel backing him, putting him in his favoured position in the middle of a back 3. And I think Christensen now, even though Thiago Silva looks as though he's coming back from injury in the next game or 2, I do not think that Christensen could lose his place after that brilliant performance. We move into box number 2, and it is for the goal scorer. It was a phenomenal goal from Mason Mount. You know what, in fact, we're going to talk about N'Golo Kante first for box 2, and then Mason Mount is box number 3. Kante today, you know, he played in the game against United, was absolutely brilliant, but today he was at his very best. You know, when N'Golo Kante is there winning every single ball in the Chelsea defensive area, not only that, but the pass for Mason Mount's goal was absolutely sublime from N'Golo Kante. He showed that he's not just a player that wins the ball back and makes these good tackles and big tackles on the edge of the areas to get Chelsea out of sticky situations. He has that incisive pass in him. He has that ability to make those lofted balls over the top. And even though I thought Jorginho today was excellent as well, I thought that not only did N'Golo Kante hold the shape incredibly well, but every single thing that he did had every single Liverpool player in his back pocket. I thought he was absolutely excellent. And then of course we move into box number 3, and it is the match winner. It's the goal scorer Mason Mount, who once again silences any critic who would dare to say that Mason Mount deserves to have a critic at this moment in time. In my opinion, he's Chelsea's best player. I think he's the first name on the team sheet, regardless of who's fit, regardless of, who scored the winning goal here or there. I think Mason Mount is so important to this Chelsea team. And once again, he's turning Fabinho inside out, who, although Fabinho's not a centre-back, he's one of the best defence-minded players in the Premier League. Mason Mount makes him look average. It is a beautiful finish into the bottom corner of Alisson's goal, who actually had a very good game today for Liverpool, Alisson did. But Mason Mount I thought was brilliant. He comes off with 10 minutes to go. He did look very tired, but again, I even said it in the game against United, I thought he was so tired that he might have even not started this game today against Liverpool. But you can see how important he is to Thomas Tuchel. You saw the energy that he brings to the team, and he wins Chelsea a game of football at Anfield, and people now, Gareth Southgate, when it comes to making his decisions for his England midfield in the summer, if Mason Mount isn't there, then I'm questioning what kind of football Gareth Southgate's watching, because he's absolutely pivotal to this Chelsea team. Not just the energy, but now he's finishing chances. He's getting in the final third, making the best out of every situation. And I think Mason Mount today could have easily had the man of the match, but I decided to give it to Christensen because I feel as though I criticised him for so long and he deserved a blue box today for yet another Chelsea clean sheet in the Premier League away against one of the big clubs. We've beaten Liverpool. I can't believe it. If you still haven't hit the like button, I wonder what you're waiting for, because I'm flipping buzzing about this one. But we move into box number 4, and I'm going to check who I put down. It's Tony Rudiger. I thought once again today, he absolutely schooled Sadio Mane. Mo Salah comes off after 61 minutes and I'm like, really? And then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? Of course Salah's coming off. He's not done anything because he's been in the back of Rudiger and Christensen's pocket for the entire game. I think if we focus on Chilwell for a second on the left wing back role, I didn't give Chilwell a box. I thought defensively he was very good. He made a very decent block and clearance on the line in the latter stages as well. But Rudiger, I thought today again was absolutely immense. There were times when sometimes Rudiger would just hoof the ball away and I'm like, no, relax, calm down. You don't need to do that. Today, in terms of the balance of when he would play out from the back, when he would hoof the ball long, was perfect. And I think Chelsea went into this game today with a game plan that was executed absolutely perfectly. And even though Liverpool didn't have any shots on target, I think the key reason why Chelsea are restricting teams to not having many efforts on goal is because we don't let players get into positions to be able to take a chance. And if you bring it back to Tuchel's comments this week in his interview where he says, we want to score more, concede less. I mean, it's obvious in football, everyone wants to bloody do that. But Chelsea today made huge steps of being more incisive and ruthless and clinical in the final third, and just kept on defending resolutely, kept that block of, players and wall of blue in the back to make sure that Liverpool didn't even get a sniff. I thought Rudiger was excellent. And I move into box number 5. And Timo Werner today, he said that he wants a target of 10 goals between now and the end of the season. Incredibly unlucky not to have one today. If it wasn't for what, in my opinion, was a disgraceful VAR decision. I've said this in the live stream, but if you can't score a goal in a football match with your arm or your hand, then how on earth can that body part still count when it comes to making a call as to whether something is offside? That is just where I sit on it. I know it's the rules of the game, but I personally think the goal should have stood. I think it was a 50-50, and I think, well, Timo Werner not only deserved the goal because he rounded the goalkeeper superbly, it was a beautiful finish after a lovely Jorginho pass, by the way, but even though Werner could have had a couple more goals today, he had that one in the second half where Alisson made the save down low with his legs. He had the one where Aspi hoofs the ball back over his head and then Werner should have scored. He was onside, but I think maybe he thought he was offside and then it goes straight into Alisson's gloves. But I thought Werner was excellent. I thought his movement today was the reason why Chelsea won the game. It was our best opportunities with the balls over the top based off of the runs of Timo Werner. And I thought it was a fantastic performance today from the striker. I'm seeing some people still say that they don't think he should be starting because he's not scoring goals. 5 Premier League goals in 27 now Premier League games isn't enough. But when he's doing that kind of work off the ball, players like Mason Mount can turn up with the goals, and as long as Chelsea are winning football matches, I do not mind. And box number 6, to wrap up this video, we move into talking about our manager. You know, it was heartbreaking when Frank Lampard was sacked. I remember sitting here on the channel, and it's the most popular video so far this year, but I was gutted when Lampard was sacked, and I was nervous about Thomas Tuchel's appointment because I think that if it didn't go as well as it has at the beginning of his reign, the Chelsea fan base would have been a very toxic place to be involved in because we'd have missed Lampard, or, you know, we weren't happy with Tuchel. But from what I've seen so far, the way that we're defending now is an absolute joy to behold. And to go to Anfield and get a result like this, I'm absolutely over the flipping moon. And I think Thomas Tuchel deserves an incredible amount of praise from everybody within the Chelsea community of how he came in, knew that there was a lot of things that needed to change as Chelsea were in a bit of a downward spiral. He made some incredibly bold decisions, and every single decision that he's made has been vindicated. And again, I look at the team when I first started the live stream tonight, and I look at the starting 11. You guys are all saying the same as me in the comments, like, oh, do we really want Jorginho back in the starting 11? Kovacic has been dropped. How has he been dropped? Why is Pulisic on the bench still? No Havertz again? Everyone's going crazy. But then game by game, every single one of these decisions that we sit there and question, we then see the choices that Tuchel makes being tactically vindicated on the field with the performances of the individuals who are coming in. I thought it was absolutely perfect from Chelsea today in every possible way. If it wasn't for VAR, we would be sat here without the nerves and the heart attacks that almost occurred towards the end of the game because it would have been more comfortable. It deserved to be more comfortable, but it wasn't, but it doesn't matter because we got 3 massive points at Anfield in a huge race for the top 4. Tottenham won today, Everton won today, Chelsea won today. That is all that we really care about. It has been a very enjoyable 6 things we learned. Thank you to everybody who joined the stream. And yeah, I hope you guys did okay on the GBFC selects as well. I will let you guys know who the winner was in an upcoming video. Player ratings will be out when you guys wake up in the morning. So enjoy 6 things we learned, hit the like button, and then we'll go over this game in even more detail in the player ratings tomorrow morning. Thank you guys for watching. Come on, you Blues.